Okay, so for any camera nerds, yeah, I forgot the ND filter at the gym, so I'm shooting 1200, 1/1200 shutter speed right now. Just don't make fun of me too much. I know it's gross, but that's an if you know kind of thing. I really would not have ever expected that I'd be all into the cameras and stuff, but it's just the nature of things, with all the videos and stuff. But it didn't start like that, Don't forget, the first year, actually probably a little longer than that, including like TikTok stuff, was all just on my phone, So I treat training in a similar fashion when I think about it. You don't need everything perfect right in the beginning to get started. All you need to do is just get started and then improve over time. Like I'm looking at it, I don't even know what the hell I'd think of this if I tried to use like a fancy camera day one. It's freaking nuts. So I haven't talked about this for a while. So way back, I'm talking back in, this would be January, or no, end of December, just about. End of December 2022. By now, I've been posting some TikToks. They're kind of funny, just like a couple sets of curls and a funny caption and some posing, and that was the end of it. And I knew I wanted to make a full-on workout video because I got some comments that were like, "Dude, we just do a whole workout. Like, we want to see a regular-ass workout." Because at the time, I could do 315 for a few. So I did 2 practice attempts. I did vlog attempt number 1. It seemed totally stupid. I don't know what I was doing. Like I could barely talk to the camera. I deleted it. I wish I didn't. I actually wish I still had it somewhere, but I deleted it. And then I tried again the next day, and I brought the tripod to the gym, and I'm like talking to myself between sets, and the microphone that I bought didn't work because it was like a really shitty, like $30 Amazon one that connects to your phone. And I'm like, okay, well now I'm 0 for 2. Well, shit. What am I supposed to do? Just keep sitting here trying to do something and then just delete it? That's dumb. You know what? No matter what, this next one, we're posting it. Boom. And now here we are, 1,000 workouts later. Some full day of eatings in there, so, but yeah, I know this is so classic, but I swear it feels like freaking yesterday, But the more things change, the more they stay the same. So, plan for this morning is get a badass chest pump. That's the plan here. So, I think I'm confirmed. I wasn't totally sure about it because usually I'm like a night workout kind of guy. Especially like off-season bulked, like, all right, yeah, let's go in late, hit a really late one. I've eaten all my food all day. I'm super full and carved up. Like, let's just go nuts tonight. But dieting, now I know I have a better time doing a morning workout. Have a meal. All I had this morning was 4 packs of instant oats, so I had a little extra carbs than normal pre-workout. So 85 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fats. Drank a bunch of, like 0 sugar electrolyte drinks, so I'm fully hydrated. So I'm ready to train. Like, I'm ready to get after it. But I notice dieting, the leaner I get, I don't really feel like I get a training improvement lifting later in the day. I'm sure I do feel a little more energized because I've got more food in my system. But when I'm leaner and I do have like more food in my system, I can feel it too, because I've got, I don't have as much body fat, like hiding the fact that I've got a full stomach. So if I want to hit a crazy chest day and then pose and look nuts in the mirror too, I'd rather do that in the morning with a slightly more empty stomach. So my logic kind of changes, because in an off season I would say, oh, well, dude, I got to take the whole day to eat a bunch of food and really fuel up for the workout. Whereas dieting, I'm going to sit and think, all right, well, I just got a good night's rest. I just woke up. I'm pretty refreshed and energized. Let's get a workout in now. And don't take that as one being the correct answer over the other. I would say that's just a prime example of shit. Whatever is, logically makes sense to you is probably a pretty damn good idea, So if you got to hit a morning workout, that's the only way you fit in your schedule. you're good, you know. If you only can do a late one, or I remember I had this job at Lowe's, which kind of sucked because I got a haircut at the same time I got the job. I was in the garden center, and they didn't want you to wear headphones. Like nothing. I was in there during like the weekdays. Nothing happened. Like we were really just sitting around doing jack. But I had short hair at the time, and I couldn't wear my headphones because my boss would get mad at me. And like he's just following the rules. Like he was a nice guy. And everybody else that worked there had long hair, and they're all just listening to podcasts all day, you know. But what I would do is there's a Planet Fitness across the street from that place. So on my lunch break, I would go lift at the Planet Fitness, change, and then come immediately back and finish that shift at Lowe's, you know, which finish the shift, really just kind of play on my phone and wait for the night to end. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I remember it being kind of chill. There was this one dude who was like, I don't remember what his shtick was, kind of older guy, but he was pretty cool. Every time he'd like walk over, he saw me just sitting doing nothing. He's like, yeah, hell yeah, man, get it. Yeah, but I mean that schedule worked out pretty well. You know, bring my gym bag, take my pre-workout like 20 minutes before I could clock out for lunch, and then I'm instantly there. You know, I wasn't doing any crazy intense workouts, but because I was dieting at the time, but still got a pump in and came back, you know. So freaking solid with me. But yeah, so we'll see how chest feels. I'm not going too crazy, you know. Obviously I'm not gonna rip my pecs off. For one, that's stupid, but also if I did, well, there's no hiding it, and then I'd get a million people saying I'm stupid too. So I get like double motivation not to hurt myself. But I can say I will be rather pumped. So a freaking new light weight this morning, and this is with a really depleted flat. Like I'm as flat as I can be because I've been on my deficit consistently the last like week-ish. If you're on it for a week, that's your flat weight. So stepped on the scale, 227.5. You know, and I do not feel 227, of course. So I think I'm just about to the point where I can kind of readjust my momentum, you know. So I took a long time this prep. It's already been 4 months, so there's another 2 to go. I wanted to have time to kind of like carb up, make little adjustments at the end, like rather than just diet. All right, showtime right there. This time I wanted it to look a little more like this, like dieting, like, all right, here we go. Ease into it, nice and smooth, like a good pilot, you know, landing instead of just like slamming into the freaking earth. So I'm just about there. So what that means is I can have a few more refeeds than I maybe expected. Not right now though. There's an instinct that you could have where it's like, okay, holy crap, I just made a new body weight PR in my diet. Like I just weighed 227. I haven't been 227 for a long time. Let's instantly refeed. And to that I'd say, how about just wait a little while, right? Actually stick with it, because that could also just be like a sort of an anomaly lightweight day, because obviously the day before I was 230. How do I know I just didn't happen to really flush everything out of my system last night, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 2:30 again if eating just my regular intake, you know? So it's you can't just count on one day, more like that kind of week fluctuating average. But yeah, I think assuming I'm still bouncing around that 230, 229 range over the next few days, then next chest day might be nasty refeed, you know, eat a couple, 500-600 grams of carbs and really start to get a glimpse of how I'm looking carbed up. But that's for later. So today we'll just enjoy a flat, hopefully very grainy chest pump and get a good glimpse of how we're looking 60 days out. Yeah, shit. 60 days out, man. Shit's getting real. You know, there's no hiding from time, that's for freaking sure. But no more jabbling. Let's get started. All right, don't mind the construction sounds from the unit beside me. I know I don't, because I got the headphones in. But I'm going to change it up a little bit. Sometimes I start with... Actually, what have I been starting with? I've been starting with, like, converging cable press. I haven't really started with machine press much, or just kind of cable fly hand over hand pressing. So similar with a lighter squeezing start, but I'm going to do alternating single arm, which I don't, it's rare that I throw it in, but I do like it. This is like my classic warm up. Like if I'm going to just get my chest warm, I'm going to sit here and just do some stuff like this. Nothing crazy heavy or anything, but if I do 5 reps alternating each side, so cable at head height, kind of take a sideways stance, bend over, hold my opposite knee for like stability, and do this kind of side over press. Even though it looks a little decline, I'm kind of getting upper chest flexion, like flexion as in like flex activity. So it's just kind of a good start. This is like doing the single arm push downs I do, where it's like 5, 5, or the leg extensions, 5, 5, same kind of logic. But let's get started. All right. Yeah, okay. Okay, one more time. Okay. Oh, shit. All right, one more of those. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. One more. One more of these. So the benefit I'm getting out of this set is a little more from like the kind of quickness. Like I'm gonna do a lighter squeezing set where I really hold the burning squeezing position. But right here, even though they're kind of quicker reps without like an accentuated hold and slow eccentric, I'm pumping up my chest, right? So it's like, you're trying to get through a wall. You can sit here and really meticulously, ball peen hammer it, and then you pop it open. I call that like a light squeezing set. Or you could hit it with a bulldozer. That'd be a crazy heavy nasty set. Or a little in between, a little sledge, and just keep smacking the shit out of it. That's what I feel like right here. Not gonna hurt myself, but it's still a little quicker paced. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. Let's grab the pec deck now. All right. This will work. So full stack pec deck. Honestly, I'm just going to do it the same style I just did those other presses. Obviously without a break, because I'm kind of curious. Do you ever do the one arm pec deck set? Like it's not like I'm anti single side stuff. I love single leg extensions, even single sided chest stuff. I just did this cable press, but something about a single sided pec deck kind of loses me a little. But if you feel it, well then obviously you're good. It doesn't matter what I think, you know. So let's just get a classic one started. All right. I can go back one notch. There we go. Two. Yeah. Two. Oh, shit. Oh, one more like that. All right. Yeah. 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 All right, let's go back to some cable press. Yeah, we're almost done. Let's see how some hand over hand cable press treats me. Should be pretty well. Yeah. All right, there we go. Two. 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 Okay. Holy crap. All right, yeah, that's all. Let's see how we're looking. So I was thinking about doing a little extra something, like a pec deck or like a cable thing, just for like a little extra pump at the end. Because I don't think I could get anything out of another big legit set. But honestly, just sitting here, that was all. So what does that add up to? Let's do some math. So 2 sets of, or was that 3? Yeah, 3 sets of the single arm alternating cable press, which I thought worked out pretty freaking well, followed by 2 sets of pec deck, followed by 1 decently hefty set of, what is that? the hand over hand cable press. I mean, that all adds up pretty freaking well to me. Yeah. So I ordered this like steel gold plated like rope chain. This is the kind of thing my grandpa used to wear. But I don't think 22 inches, that's not going to cut it. But that's completely unrelated to the pump. So let's see how we're looking. And I've got to rock shorts under the pants because when I do the treadmill after this, if I don't and I just have the pants, my legs chafe and it freaking sucks. But yeah, let's see how we're looking. Oh man. But yeah, for as flat as I can be right now, I certainly don't feel flat, so that's getting me going. But yeah, now the plan's gonna be go do another 45 minutes on the, I've been liking the treadmill. You know, I didn't think I'd like it as much, but it actually kind of feels like it passes a little quicker. And I mean, I can still play on my phone. You know, I'm not like the kind of guy who's gonna do no hand on the machine just to make, like if I lean back a little on the machine with the incline, I don't think I'm hurting it too bad. But yeah, that's all I got. Let's get in the freaking car. There we go. Yeah. All right, cardio done. So now all I gotta do is get home and get some freaking grub in my system. So what will that be? A crazy big ass bowl of ground beef guaranteed. And I've got the full everything for the deconstructed burger. So I'm talking low sugar ketchup, yellow mustard, low fat mayonnaise, and then I got a white onion waiting for me to come kind of, you know, chop up and then mix in between. Last prep, I was throwing in a bunch of like keto buns, so like low carb, high fiber kind of stuff. Not really this time, because it just makes my stomach feel kind of weird. Like one bun has the equivalent fiber of, you know, I don't know, like 4 times the amount that you should even eat per day. And you know, obviously, like you need some, or you don't need some, but it's going to be good to have some just to keep everything moving. But with that amount, it was just like, I actually just feel so bloated. You know, it kind of sucks. So not really cheating at this prep with all like high fiber kind of stuff. You know, throw in some protein bars on occasion of whichever choice. But even then you got to be careful because some of them are like they've got a bunch of allulose and just random like sugar alcohol alternative stuff, which in moderation I think is fine. But if you eat a bunch of it, it can kind of mess your stomach up too and just make you feel weird. You know, like just not weird, like just like kind of a little upset. Like it's just, you know, that sucks, right? So trying to minimize that feeling as much as possible and then just kind of keep it basic. So yeah, big ass bowl of protein, condiments of a low calorie variety, and then a bunch of liquids. You know, I gotta be slamming fluids on the regular because for one, obviously hydration, you're just gonna feel better, get better pumps, everything. But also it's oh shit, what was I about to say? Yeah, it just kind of makes you feel a little bit more full. You know, like if I eat a big bowl of food and I drink nothing with it, versus if I have a big bowl of food and I drink a ton of like an electrolyte mix or like a whatever, I'm gonna feel more full having that fluid as well, you know? So just something to think about. If you don't have at least a couple of like maybe liter-ish empty plastic water bottles or something hanging around, or maybe you're the kind of guy to walk around with like a big metal jug or something, if you're not doing that, I'd say get on it, because it's pretty easy to let time pass and you think, shit, I haven't drank anything for like 2 hours, you know, and you can catch up pretty quick. Like if you slam 2 liters or something, I mean, you're gonna pretty quickly rehydrate, but I'd rather not put myself in that position and just be hydrated in the first place. And then my lifts feel way better. Like obviously right now I'm not gonna come into the gym fully carved up, but at least I can come in well hydrated, you know? And that's the primary driver of like what makes your muscles even freaking fire at all, is this kind of osmosis electrolyte imbalance kind of deal. Like when people talk about how they have a low potassium and it gives you cramps, it's because you're inside all your muscles is like potassium something or other and sodium and all this, you know, basically just stuff. And little electronic whatever kind of cues from your nervous system says, okay, open up this potassium something or other, and then that's what makes your muscles freaking move. You know, it's just that kind of chemical imbalance. So you want to have enough electrolytes to facilitate that, you know? So obviously that's a super simplified version of what's going on, but end of the day, stay hydrated with enough, you know, electrolytes and sodium and whatever. That's one thing that's kind of weird. Salt gets a bad rap. It's like, oh, dude, it's got high sodium. Like people look at food and they say it's got high sodium as if that's the same level of like a critique as saying it has high fat content or it has high like whatever, you know. The problem would be if you eat a ton of salt and a ton of like sodium and everything without enough water to go along with it. You know, in one day, I could probably consume like 20 grams of sodium. But if I had enough water to go along with that, it'd be a ton of water. I wouldn't get dehydrated. You know, it's all about just like the density compared to the amount of fluids you get in. So if anything, in terms of physical performance, you want more sodium than the regular Joe, because I mean, this is kind of strange that the FDA's all regulations and like 2,000 calorie recommended diet and everything, that's not for us. That's for a 180 pound, you know, semi-leanish normal guy who doesn't work out, who doesn't do any activity at all, and just like, you know, lives and like walks and does this stuff. It doesn't account for working out like a beast, doing a bunch of cardio, eating, you know, the amount of protein you should be eating. Like they could really catch up on their game, you know. Like where's the bar? The bar is no exercise and no activity at all. Like that freaking sucks, you know. So don't get so dissuaded when you hear people talk about like dietary cholesterol or egg yolks, or the people who are trying to fear monger that. Let's just say they're living in a different world than we are, right? Eat your food and get your gains and be happy about it. But yeah, I'm gonna go get some food in my system, and then a post-workout nap would not surprise me. So I guess we'll just see what happens. We will just freaking see what happens. But I'll see you for either back or arms tomorrow. Maybe arms, but maybe back. I don't know. I'm not. Either one is going to be cool. So maybe I'll just kind of flip a coin or something. But either way, I'll see you for that tomorrow.